It is another exciting night of CIML softball here live from Dowling High School. Two teams that have gone opposite directions to start this early season. Dowling 2-0 and Lincoln 0-3, but still plenty of time to make up for any mistakes that have been made in the first couple of games. Dowling coming off a disappointing 7-32 season a year ago. Lincoln also well under 500 as well. So a lot of ground to make up for these teams as they are building off a disappointing stretch run to last year's season. But Dowling has come out with a vengeance, winning their first two games by a score of 32-0 combined in their doubleheader action on Monday, winning 18-0 and 14-0. On the other side for Lincoln, 0-3 to start the year, but their last two games have been hard-fought, 7-1 and 5-1 losses after losing 10-0 in their first game. Looking at the starting lineups for both teams, starting with the Lincoln Rail Splitters, leading off and playing third base, number 3, Zoe Smith. In the two-hole, you've got Grace Twellmeyer playing left field, wearing number 17. Sailor Laughlin batting third and doing the catching tonight, wearing number 10. Number 11 and doing the pitching tonight is Riley Cox in the cleanup spot. In the five-hole, Carly Brower wearing 15 and playing shortstop. Number 21, Peyton Saunders will be patrolling center field and hitting 6th. Julius wearing number 12 playing first base, hitting 7th. Isabella Loudon playing right field and batting 2nd. And Kylie tonight for the Dowling Catholic Maroons on the other side is going to be number 6, Sarah Hochberger. And they are actually going to break for the national anthem as that is getting started right now. So we'll be right back here from Dowling High School.
In a recent spring storm, a freak tornado formed and moved through the north side of Shunkirk Chevy Waukee. Depending on damage, most new vehicles with minor cosmetic imperfections. Affected new Chevys will be sold for thousands below market value, with a limited number of storm-damaged vehicles available. Time is of the essence to take advantage of this opportunity. You get the rebates and discounts. Now take thousands more off storm-damaged vehicles. Limited time savings. Shunkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. To BBB accredited businesses, it pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Central Bank, proud to be a long-standing Iowa tradition. Founded in 1887 in Storm Lake, we've grown over the years from that one location to a bank in northwest and central Iowa, employing more than 200 people in the region. Being here and being from here, it makes central bankers unique in the banking world. Decisions are made here. Investments of our time and resources are made here. For us, banking is still about people. Our reverence for community and hard work speaks to a proud Iowa heritage. Our passion for small business, bold new directions forward for our bank and the Iowans we serve. Thank you for your support of Central Bank. Let's keep it going. Let's plan together. Let's execute for Iowa's small business, agricultural, and individual banking customers. Central Bank is ready to make it happen. Member FDIC.
And welcome back to Dowling Catholic High School. Taking on the Lincoln Rail Splitters here tonight. On the mound for them is number 8, Annie Thomas, making her debut here at home. Last year, 2-14 on the mound in 22 games pitched. She'll be looking for a better start to this season, and Dowling has had about as good to start to a season as you could hope for, and looking for more of that here tonight. So joining her on around the field, catching tonight, number 4, Sarah Hochberger at first. Number 1, Yelitsa Lovan at second. Number 2, Abby Reinhardt playing shortstop. Number 1, Callie Sweezy at third. Number 13, Kendall Henry in left field. We've got number 12, Emma Gipple. In center field, number 23, Molly Moist. And finally, playing right field and the flex spot tonight is Yeleza Lovan. And we are getting ready to start this one here tonight. Dowling coming today's matchup 2-0, while Lincoln coming in 0-3. Teams split their doubleheader action last season and looking for more of that here tonight as both teams looking to pick up a big win. As the first strike from Thomas is in there. So Smith down 0-1 in the count to start this game off. Call comes in from the Dowling dugout. This one hit on the ground, over to short, up and firing across the field is the shortstop Sweezy, and that's the first out of the inning. Tolmeyer will come to the plate now. Last season, a .231 hitter for the Rails. Takes the first one high for ball number 1. Beautiful weather here tonight. Been sitting at about the mid to upper 80s all day, and we got a slight breeze coming in from around home plate. Second pitch a little bit just inside the outside corner for strike number 1. Count even 1-1 as Thomas goes into her motion. That one low and outside for ball number 2. Thomas, 22 strikeouts last year compared to 35 walks. Gets ahead of the hitter on this one now as counts evened up 2-2 after the foul ball. Thomas goes in, looking for the payoff pitch. This one's popped up, giving chase out at second. Making the catch, the second baseman, number 7, Reinhardt. Able to make it over the shoulder, otherwise that was going to bloop in for a single. So 2 quick outs. And now Sailor Laughlin will look to try and keep this inning alive for Lincoln. Thomas into her motion. First pitch just below the knees for ball number 1. Thomas delivers. This one 1-1 count. Thomas going to her motion once again. This time, right on the outside corner for strike number 2. Thomas with a complete 3-inning shutout in the first game of the season, 5 strikeouts. Looking for her first one today. That pitch a little bit outside to even the count 2 apiece. Laughlin needing to battle to keep this inning alive. Rips this one foul down the third base line. That'll keep the count at 2-2. Thomas looking to try and get an end to this inning. Goes into her motion with the 2-2 count. 2 gone in the inning. Just missed that outside corner. Full count. Now facing the catcher, Sailor Laughlin. Cox on deck, followed by Brower in the hole. Infielders back across the infield. This one's hit high and deep into left field. That one is gone. Early first inning home run for Sailor Laughlin. And that gives Lincoln the early lead 1-0. put a charge into that one and sent it over the left field wall, and Gipple could only stand and watch it sail over the fence. For a team that's only scored 2 runs in their first 3 games, an early inning home run, a great way to build some early momentum. That'll bring up Riley Cox, the pitcher, to the plate. First one just misses the strike zone, ball number 1. First run allowed by Thomas in the early season. Now she'll look to try and end the inning with no more damage allowed. Second pitch, high and inside for ball number 2. Runs the count 2-0. Thomas will come back to the mound, looking to battle back from a 2-0 count. That pitch right there down the middle for strike number 1. Looked like Cox was taking the entire way, looking to see how Thomas would battle back after allowing the first inning home run. Thomas sends this one in, and it's grounded right back to her. Throw over to first base in time for the out. So 1 hit, 1 run scored for Lincoln in the top of the first as Sailor Laughlin puts one over the fence into the stands for a 1-0 lead. We'll take a short break and be right back here on CISN.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
It's a 1-0 lead for Lincoln after the top of the first inning. A home run by Sailor Laughlin, the lone run coming in that inning. The only hit as well. And she put an absolute charge into that shot, putting it at least 5-10 feet beyond the left field wall. Due up for Dowling in the bottom of the first. It'll be Yelitsa Lovan, Abby Reinhart, and Anna Johnson. The first base, second base, and designated player to start this game. On the mound for the opposition, it will be number 11, Riley Cox, who just grounded out to end the last inning. Last year, 23 appearances for her, 17 starts. A 6-10 record with a 4.69 ERA. Solid numbers for her sophomore year, but now as an upperclassman, looking to do some good early things for this team in this game. As the throw is down to second, and we are set to have Dowling come for their first cuts of the game. So going through their batting order, we already mentioned Lovan, Reinhardt, and Johnson. Hochberger in the cleanup spot. Gipple batting 5th. Thomas, the pitcher, at the 6th spot. Sweezy batting 7th. Henry in 8th. And Moyes rounding out in the 9 hole. First pitch of the evening is a strike in there for Cox. A little erratic last year, 81 walks and 8 hit batters. She'll be looking to get some early control to try and get ahead of hitters. Did so on this first at bat. Second pitch inside for ball number 1. 1-1 count. And that actually will go as a strike. So Lovan now down 0-2 in the count. And that one's just going to be a little bit outside. A second baseman blocking a little bit of the view of the umpire out here in the outfield. 1-2 count. Cox looking to set down this first batter, but bounces the pitch in near the right-handed batter's batting box. Two the count. No swings yet in this at-bat for Lovan. That one hits almost the exact same spot as the last one, bouncing it on the left side of the plate. That'll run the count full. And we just talked about that needed better control for Cox from last season, and she's thrown 3 straight balls that are getting ahead in the count 0-2. Full count. This one's going to be a walk. So after getting ahead 0-2, 4 straight balls to put the first runner of the game for Dowling at first. Abby Reinhardt will come into the play. Made a nice play early in the first inning as she was able to make a nice catch over her shoulder running out into left field. Quick conversation at the mound as Laughlin comes in from the catcher spot. Lovon, the first baseman, standing over at first. Lovon, a freshman this year, will try to take a potential solid lead off first after the pitch is thrown. No go on the pitch as it's inside for ball number 1. Abby Reinhardt last year as a freshman, 8 RBIs, as she was a .234 hitter. Looking to try and move that runner around potentially in this at bat. No out so far in the inning. This one ripped over to short and a nice catch. And now they will call that saying it hit the dirt first. So the runner will advance and it'll go as a 6-3 ground out. So 6-3 fielder's choice will advance the runner over to second base, and now a runner in scoring position for the designated player, Anna Johnson. Johnson last year, the top returning power threat, 3 home runs and a .337 average for the now junior. Very young team this year for the Maroons. No seniors on this year's roster. That was the case last year for Lincoln, but 5 seniors in the lineup for them this season. Pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Johnson led the team in RBIs a season ago and looking to get an early add-on to her total in this first inning. This one grounded over to third. It'll go foul, and that will keep it 2 strikes. Cox will have the opportunity to go up to the strikeout now. Runner at second base and 1 out in the inning. That pitch inside for a ball. So Johnson staying alive for at least one more pitch. This one pops straight up, and making the catch is the pitcher Cox, and that'll be the second out of the inning. Sarah Hochberger will come to the plate now with an opportunity for an RBI. If she's able to reach, it'll bring up Emma Gipple, the left fielder. This one grounded right back to the pitcher. So Cox will get the second and third out herself, and that'll end the inning. No hits and 1 runner left on for Dowling in the bottom of the first inning. Due up for Lincoln in the top of the second will be Brower, Saunders, and Julius. We'll take a short break and be right back here from Dowling High School.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Thomas back on the mound to open the top of the second inning. Allowed a home run to Sailor Laughlin in the first, and that's been our only score so far. Lincoln leading 1-0. Dowling, after a walk to the first batter, went down 1-2-3 for the next three batters. Due up 4. Lincoln will be the 5, 6, and 7 spots. If any of them will reach, it'll bring up Loudon, who's batting 8 today. Carly Brower will be leading off, wearing 15 and playing shortstop in the first game of today's doubleheader action. As the throw down to second is good, and we will get this second inning started. Brower last season a .256 hitter in 32 appearances. Saw 90 at-bats last season for Lincoln. Plated 1 in the first inning. Will look to start off this inning strong. First pitch in there at the knees for strike number 1 from Thomas. Thomas got the first 2 outs of the last inning before giving up the home run. This one hit over to third. Good fielding and throw over in time. Kendall Henry over at third, able to make the play, and that's the first out of the inning. And now that'll bring the center fielder, Peyton Saunders, to the plate. The senior on this year's team, 2 home runs and 7 RBIs for her season ago to go along with her .294 average. First pitch low for ball number 1. Julius waiting on deck, and Loudon in the hole for Lincoln. That one high and inside for ball number 2. Looks like that one got away from Thomas a little bit. Third pitch in there for a strike. So able to get on the board with the first strike. It's 2-1 count. Strikeout to walk ratio last year for Thomas under 1. As she evens up the count 2-2. Able to battle back from the first 2 balls thrown in this at bat. And Thomas can go after her first strikeout of the game. And this one's going to be hit straight up in the air and fielded by Thomas for the out. So 2 quick outs. And now Julius will come to bat trying to keep the inning alive. Julius playing first base to start this game off. First pitch right there at the numbers for strike number 1. None of the hitters been overly aggressive going after the first pitch on either side through the first inning plus. This one, Julius takes a cut at and fouls over on the right side for strike number 2. The right fielder Loudon on deck with Jones, the second baseman, in the hole for Lincoln. That pitch low and outside for ball number 1. So Thomas ahead 1-2 in the count, looking for the strikeout. Swing and a miss for Julius, and that'll do it for the top of the second. No hits, no runs, no errors, and no one left on base for Lincoln as they go down 1-2-3. Take a quick 30-second break and be right back here on Central Iowa Sports Network. You're listening to Lincoln versus Dowling softball.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Annie Thomas got a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the second for Dowling. She'll be due up second in this inning as Emma Gipple, Annie Thomas, and Kaylee Swayze due up for Dowling. They did not pick up a hit in the first inning. Lovan got a leadoff walk, but then they went down 1-2-3 with a pair of groundouts and a pop-out to the pitcher. So Gipple will look to get things started, and a great player you'd want leading off an inning. 364 hitter last year, one of the top hitters for this Maroons team last season. And right behind her, Thomas, a great hitter in her own right. So Gipple, Thomas, and Sweezy will be looking to get things started for Dowling. Rails leading 1-0 after the first inning home run. And this one's ripped into left field for the first hit of the game. Gipple getting on base. Second straight inning that a leadoff base runner has reached for Dowling. Now Thomas, the opportunity to help out her own cause with a runner over at first and no one out. Left-handed hitting Thomas had 19 RBIs last year for Dowling. First pitch low and outside. Gipple gave the look like she was going to take off, but thought better of it and will stay over at first. (1-0) the count. As this one swung on by Thomas and fouled straight back. Even in the count, 1-1. Dowling looked to possibly tie this inning, the score up, as this one's a swing and a miss from Thomas. Makes the count now 1-2. Gipple at first, Swayze on deck. Thomas trying to fight off and keep the at-bat alive. Takes a pitch outside for ball number 2. One more ball, run the count full as we're sitting at 2-2. This one fouled back into the backstop, so that'll be keeping the count at 2 apiece. Still no look from Gipple of a steal attempt. Dowling not too big on stealing last year. Only attempted 6 all year, but did find success on 5 of their attempts. This one is hit out of play, it appears, along the left side of the field. Right fielder and third baseman giving chase, but getting out of play, keeping the at-bat alive for Thomas. Seventh pitch of the at-bat coming up. This one low and outside, so we got a full count now. No outs in the inning, so a walk would put 2 runners on and a great RBI opportunity for Swayze, who's standing on deck. This one fouled out of play again, so pitch number 9 of the at-bat coming up. Thomas refusing to go down without a fight in her first at-bat of the game. Thomas hits this one over to third, throw in time, but it does advance the runner. So Gipple will move over to second as the first out of the inning is recorded. Runner scoring position now for Sweezy, and that'll leave Henry on deck. Swayze last year, 79 at-bats for a 203 average. First pitch high and outside for ball number 1. Second pitch will get there right on the outside corner, and even at the count at 1-1. Gipple standing at second, 1 gone in the inning. Lincoln still leading 1-0 from the first inning home run from Sailor Laughlin. Swayze showing bunt, pulled it back, and now they've got a pickle opportunity out there with Gipple trying to get back to second, and she is able to get back in time. Couldn't tell for sure if it was a ball or a strike on the last pitch. So Gipple back at second, still 1 out in the inning. Swung on it, and it looks like it was fouled back. So it'll keep Sweezy's at bat alive. Hit into the outfield might be enough to score that run from second and tie this thing up. She'll take that pitch outside. Good eye there from Sweezy. They're going to give the strikeout on that one right at the knees, and a strikeout looking the backwards K recorded for the second out of the inning. And now Emery will try to avoid stranding a runner at second for the second straight inning. Emery changing up her number from last season, wearing number 3, going to 13. Throw over to third, trying to get the runner. And they're going to get the tag in time. And there actually will be a double check from the home plate umpire. So waiting to see on what the official call will be over at third. And they will call the runner safe. So Gipple able to get over to third, and that will put a runner just 60 feet away from tying this game up in the bottom of the second. Cox delivers to home. This one inside for a ball. Third baseman playing well in the event of a potential bunt. And that ball gets away from the catcher. That's going to bring the run home. No slide. Gipple scores easily. And that ties the game up 1 apiece. Tough misplay there for the catcher, Laughlin. Her home run had given the lead to Lincoln, and now a mistake behind the plate ties it up. Inning not over yet as Henry still at the plate. Two outs in the inning as Dowling ties this one up at one apiece. This one fouled. Cox looking to get out of the inning. If Henry is able to reach, Molly Moyes waiting on deck, the center fielder. Cox goes in motion, delivers. This one's popped up. Giving chase is the left fielder, and making the catch was Isabella Loudon. And Loudon, I believe, will be leading off the next inning for Lincoln, but not before Dowling able to put a run up on the board after the pass ball. One hit, one run, and one error leads to the first run of the game before Dowling ties everything up. We'll take a quick break and be right back here from Dowling High School. You're listening to Lincoln versus Dowling softball on CISN.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
It's Loudon, Jones, and then the top of the order due up for Lincoln. They lost the lead, and we are sitting at a 1-1 game to begin the top of the third inning. No defensive changes for either team so far in this game. The first inning home run by Laughlin was the first run given up on the early season by Dowling, but it only took them just one extra inning to tie it back up. Now Lincoln will be trying to get the lead back as their 8-9 one-hitters are due up. Loudon, the right fielder, will get Lincoln started as she takes the first pitch in there for strike number one. If anyone's able to reach this inning, it'll bring up Grace Twellmeyer, the number 2 hitter, who's due up fourth. Swing and a miss on the second pitch for strike number 2. Thomas got a strikeout to end the top of the second, now looking to start the top of the third with the exact same thing. Loudon's got to protect here, down 0-2 in the count. A little bit outside for ball number 1. Tried to get her to chase, but Loudon did not offer. Loudon, a freshman on this year's team. This one ripped over foul down the third base line. Was right on that pitch, just a little early. Loudon stays alive, down 1-2 in the count. As Thomas is looking for her second strikeout. Had 5 of them in her first start on Monday. And what amounted in an 18-0 win for Dowling. That pitch outside for ball number 2. Outfielders playing normal depth. Haven't seen a lot of different scheming so far in this game. And a swing and a miss from Loudon. She's down on strikes. Second strikeout of the game and the second straight batter to go down swinging for Lincoln. Then we have Kylie Jones, number 27, the second baseman. Her first appearance. And after that, it'll be the top of the order. Thomas sets and delivers. That one high for ball number 1. 1-0 the count, one gone in the inning. As Thomas delivers a second pitch of the at-bat. That one in there on the inside corner for strike number one. Jones ready in the batter's box. Takes another pitch. This one almost the exact same location. This one in there again for strike number two. Jones seems to be hitting a little bit of a groove, as she's only thrown one ball in the last 7 pitches. Swing and a miss. Picks up another strikeout as Jones goes down swinging, third straight strikeout. I'll bring the top of the order back. Smith grounded out to shortstop her first time up. We'll be hoping for a better outcome this time. Smith, another freshman on this year's team, takes the first pitch for ball number one. That pitch at the knees, but a little bit too low for ball number two. So after back-to-back strikeouts to open the inning, Thomas falling behind the number one hitter. That one a little bit higher than the last one, enough to catch the strike zone, making it now a 2-1 count. Thomas sets, delivers. This one grounded over and past the shortstop into left field. And that'll be the second hit of the ball game as Lincoln able to keep the inning alive. Twelmeyer will come to the plate. It was a great effort by Sweezy over at short, just past her outside. Twelmeyer coming to the plate, popped out to Reinhardt at second, her first time at the plate. Smith now over at first. Fakes like she was going to run, but did not. Ball number one on the first pitch. Smith set. And that's going to be ball number two as it's low and outside. 2 outs in the inning. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the inning for Thomas. But giving up the hit to Smith kept the inning alive. Twelmeyer takes that one in for a strike. Twelmeyer trying to do some 2-out damage with the runner at first. This one hit over and almost the exact same spot as Smith's hit, past the diving Sweezy once again. And that'll advance the runner and put 2 runners on to bring up Laughlin, who homered her first time up. 2-out noise for Lincoln as they're looking to try and add to their run total, tied 1-1 so far in the contest. The senior Laughlin with 1 home run in the game and another RBI opportunity with Smith over at second and Twelmeyer at first. The lefty pitcher Thomas trying to get out of this bind with no damage allowed. 2 runners on, 2 gone in the inning. That pitch a little bit outside, but just enough on the corner for strike number 1. So Thomas ahead in the count, 0-1. This one is popped high as Sweezy moves into left field and puts the squeeze on that one. That one was not getting past her. So two out hits, not enough to bring anyone home as Lincoln goes into the bottom of the third, still tied 1-1 as Dowling will come back to the plate. We'll take a short break and be right back here on CISN.
In a recent spring storm, a freak tornado formed and moved through the north side of Shunkirk Chevy Waukee. Depending on damage, most new vehicles with minor cosmetic imperfections. Affected new Chevys will be sold for thousands below market value with a limited number of storm-damaged vehicles available. Time is of the essence to take advantage of this opportunity. You get the rebates and discounts. Now take thousands more off storm-damaged vehicles. Limited time savings. Shunkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
1-1 still our score as Lincoln had 2 runners on with 2 out in the last inning, but a pop-up to shortstop ended that scoring threat. It'll be Moist, and then the top of the order, Loven, Reinhardt, and Johnson, if anyone is able to reach. First appearance for Moist, and Loven and Reinhardt due up second and third. Loven drew a walk to start out the game for Dowling. Meanwhile, Reinhardt grounded out to shortstop. Loven playing center field to open today's contest. A sophomore for the Maroons. Meeting out the minds at the mound before we get this third inning started. Moitz will look to get things started for the Maroons. They've had their first batter of each inning reached so far. So look to continue this one as this one's hit over to short, fielded and thrown out. Making the throw of the shortstop, Carly Brower, first out of the inning. They'll bring up Yulitsa Lovan back to the plate. Drew a walk and was stranded at second her first time up. Lovan, a freshman, saw time as an 8th grader last year. Hits this one over to shortstop as well. And Brower with another good throw. And that's back-to-back 6-3 groundouts to start the inning. 2 pitches, 2 outs. Can't ask for much more if you're Cox on the mound. Reinhardt was a 6-3 grounded victim herself last time she came to the plate. Anna Johnson sitting on deck. Reinhardt will ground this one foul along the third base line for strike number 1. Reinhardt puts a charge in this one. It's back deep, and it's going to one-hop to the wall. That'll be an easy double for Reinhardt, and she will stop there. Tag almost able to get to her in time. Missed a home run by a couple of feet as it hit the warning track and then up into the fence. And now we got some 2-out action for Dowling in the third inning. Anna Johnson coming to the plate. Johnson popped up to the pitcher her first time up. And Johnson's able to get on Hoke Berger, the catcher, on deck. This one grounded over to short, and Brower will pick up 1, 2, 3 outs this inning on 6-3 groundouts. So runner stranded at second after the double for Reinhardt. All 3 outs came on the first pitch of the at-bat for Dowling in this inning. So at the end of 3, we're still tied at 1-1. We'll take a short break and be right back here with the top of the 4th inning.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
And welcome back to Dowling Catholic High School. Score 1-1 after 3. The Maroons will have the middle of their order up in Cox, Brower, and Saunders, the 4-5-6 hitters. All 3 picked up an out their first time up. We're hoping for a better finish to their at-bats this time through. Cox grounded out to the pitcher, her last time up. And now will be looking to get the better of her pitching counterpart, facing off against Annie Thomas. This one grounded over to third. It'll be called a foul ball, though, as it was on the left side of the bag over there. Kind of some dead contact off the bat is what you could hear. So the foul ball makes it an 0-1 count. This one laced in to left field as that one came off the end of the bat, but it was just enough to get past Reinhardt at second base. And that'll give Cox her first hit of the day. And that's the first time that Thomas was not able to pick up the first 2 outs of the inning in the first 2 batters. Courtesy runner will come in for Cox over at first. Tough to see from here what the number is, but as soon as we get that, we will relay it to you guys. So Brower will come to the plate now, the 5-hitter. Grounded out to third, her first trip to the plate. First pitch high and inside for ball number 1. Appears the pitch runner might be Jade Anderson. Second pitch, this one low and inside for ball number 2. So 2-0 count here. 1 runner on, no one out so far in the top of the 4th inning. 1-1 still the score, a first inning home run, and then a second inning pass ball, accounted for the runs respectively for Lincoln and Dowling. That pitch high and inside for ball number 3. And it is in fact Jade Anderson. There's the pitch runner at first for Riley Cox. 3-0 count now for Brower. As a walk here could put Thomas in some trouble. That one just inside enough to pick up the strike. Three-one count as Thomas sets and delivers. This one high, and it's going to be a walk anyway. So Anderson moves over to second, and now Brower on at first. No one out in the inning, so this could turn into a big scoring opportunity for the Lincoln Rail Splitters. Lincoln with just 2 runs on the season, 1 in their second game, 1 in their third game looking to break that total open here with 2 on and no outs. This one grounded over to third base, and it is going to be dropped over at first. It's going to bring a run home, and she's going to be out at the plate, though. Anderson thrown out at home, but it does allow Saunders to get all the way to second, so it'll be 2 runners in scoring position with just 1 out. So the Maroons not out of the struggle yet, as it brings Carly Julius to the plate, struck out swinging her first time up. And now Thomas, 2 runners in scoring position. A run will likely score both, or hit will likely score both of them. This one hit over to third. They're going to go over to first, so allow the 1 run to come home. And they'll trade the out for the run. And the shortstop Sweezy was able to keep the run over at second there. And that'll bring Loudon to the plate, 2 gone in the inning. But her team does take a 2-1 lead. I believe they are going to actually bring a pinch hitter in. So waiting to see who the substitution for Loudon is. So it's going to be Marissa Albright pinch hitting for Loudon. Albright, a freshman of this year's team, with a runner in at second and 2 gone in the inning. First pitch right there at the belt for strike number 1. Wait to see if Albright will come out to play right field for Loudon in the bottom of the 4th, as she's now down 0-2 in the count after fouling this one off. Thomas looking for the payoff pitch. That one low, and that'll be ball number 1. Thomas ahead in the count 1-2, trying to get the best of Albright. This one ripped into left field, but down, and it'll be foul, so a very long and loud foul ball. Count remains 1-2 in favor of the pitcher, Thomas. Thomas goes into her windup, throws to home, and that'll be a caught-looking strikeout to end the inning. So top of the 4th was a good one for Lincoln, as they're able to plate another run and take a 2-1 lead into the bottom of the 4th. Halfway through this one, they lead 2-1. We'll be right back here on CISN.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
It'll be Hoke, Berger, Gibble, and Thomas to lead off this inning. Gibble's the one that got things started their first time through the order that they got the run, got a hit, and came around to score the lone run of the game for Dowling. She'll be due up second. And Gibble's had a great start to the season, had 3 doubles in the season opener for Dowling, a game they won by double digits, run-ruled their opponent in each of their first 2 contests. And Gipple was one of the team's top players last year, hitting over 360. First, leading off, though, it is going to be the catcher, Sarah Hoke. And didn't see a lot of time on last year's team. Only playing in the 27 of the team's 39 games. Hochberger grounded out to the pitcher her first time up. Looking to get this thing started off right as she takes the next pitch for a ball. A new pitcher warming up for Lincoln over their bullpen, number 35, Delarose Brooks, a sophomore. Next pitch, also a ball, as this one's high and outside. Now Cox will have to try and battle back in the count. That pitch taken as well. Hochberger is showing no signs of swinging so far in this at-bat. That one low and inside, and that will draw the walk. And that'll bring Gipple to the plate. Hochberger, first time she's reached in this game. They'll bring a pinch runner in for the catcher. Shay Johnson will come in to run, the 8th grader. And now Gipple coming up. No outs so far in the inning and a runner at first base. Gipple and Thomas, two of the top hitters on this team, due up next. First pitch on the corner for a strike. This one fouled out of play by Gipple. She's now down 0-2. Thomas due up next. If Gipple's able to reach, will have a great opportunity to help out her own cause. Gipple, a decent power threat with multiple home runs last season. That one low and outside for ball number 1. A little bit of a breeze still here coming from a home plate, but the wind has settled down a lot from what we saw in the beginning of the game. This one low and inside this time, evens the count up 2-2. As we got a FedEx plane flying overhead, our own flyby here in this game. Two-two count. Cox delivers to home plate. This one grounded over, and it's going to reach into left field. They'll keep the runner over at second, as that's a short throw over to third base. But Gipple picks up her second hit of the game. And now Thomas, 2 runners on, no outs. Great scoring opportunity here for Dowling as they trail 2-1 in the bottom of the 4th inning. And Thomas is going to show bunt, offers at it, runner over to third. And that's going to be an easy out at third. Gipple does get to second, but that lead runner is thrown out. Second time we've seen one of these teams run themselves into an out on a failed bunt attempt. Thomas swinging away now, rips this one into right center, and that'll be enough to easily score Gipple. They'll throw to second, trying to get Thomas out, but she'll slide in safely. RBI double for the pitcher, evens things up at 2 apiece. And that'll basically replace one runner at second with another, as a courtesy runner will come in at second base. Kennedy Jones will come in to pinch run. Kaylee Swayze, the lone strikeout victim of the day for Cox, coming to the plate for her second plate appearance. Still a small jam for Cox as there's one runner in scoring position, just one out in the inning. That pitch low and inside for ball number 1. Cox delivers this one, hit high into shallow right field. It's going to drop right over the head of the shortstop, number 15, Carly Brower, and that'll go as a hit for Swayze. 2 runners on, just 1 out. Does not advance the runner, however, because it was so shallow. So that'll bring it Kendall Hemry with 2 runners on. Hemry flew out to left field her first time up. First pitch was a ball. Swayze taking that pitch inside for a ball as well. This one grounded over to first, and that'll be a foul ball for the first strike. So 1 out in the inning, runner at second, runner at first. Dowling tying this thing up at 2 apiece, now trying to take their first lead of the game. Brower lays down a great bunt. She'll be thrown out at first, but it is enough to advance both runners, and a wild throw home, not in time to get the runner. As Jones will come in to score, and Dowling takes their first lead, 3-2. And the inning continues as well as Moist comes to bat and a runner over at third in Swayze. A beautifully laid down bunt by Hemry was enough to get that run in from second, as Jones really showed her wheels turning and sprinting down that third base line. This one's going to be dribbled over to shortstop. Brower up, firing, and that's going to be enough to pick up the out. But not before Dowling plates 2 runs to take a 3-2 lead heading into the top of the 5th. Through 4 innings, 3-2 our score in favor of the Maroons. Take a 30-second break and be right back here on CISN.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
A great 4th inning for the Maroons. Plated 2 runs, allowed them to take a 3-2 lead. And now Lincoln will try to answer. It'll be Jones, Smith, and Twellmeyer due up for Lincoln. The 9-1 and 2 hitters, as they're getting a talking to from their head coach and possibly just trying to get a little bit of inspiration, as there's 3 innings left in this first game of doubleheader action. Don't forget, we will have the second game due up as well at the conclusion of this one. No defensive changes for Dowling. And Thomas still on the mound as she's pitched pretty well so far, allowing just 2 runs through 4 innings of play. And there will be a pinch hitter as Della Rose Brooks comes in to hit for Jones. Saw her warming up in the bullpen a little bit ago. So she could be coming in to pitch the bottom of the 5th in favor of Cox. Brooks, a sophomore, will get her first plate appearance here against Annie Thomas. Another pitcher also warming up for Lincoln in their bullpen. When I'm able to see a number, I will give you guys an update. This one fouled straight back by Rose Brooks. Had a great night of softball so far, as it's been a very good back and forth game. No team holding their lead for more than a couple of innings. As this one chopped over to third, it'll be a foul ball, as Brooks would have had a hit had it stayed fair. Two strikes on the board. Thomas looking for a strikeout. 3 of them for her so far in the game. 4, as she got Albright to end last inning. That one outside for a ball. And this one hit into center field. Moist giving chase. Able to make the catch running in. So that'll be the first out of the inning. And it'll bring the top of the order, Zoe Smith, third baseman, coming to the plate. This one fouled out of play on the first pitch of the at-bat. And the pitcher warming up for Lincoln, number 33, Carmi Johnson. That's another sophomore. Thomas set on the mound, goes into her windup and delivers to home. Took a little bit off of that one. Just wasn't able to keep it in the strike zone for ball number 1. 1-1 count for Thomas. Facing off against Smith. Picked up a hit in her last at bat. That one high and inside for ball number 2. That one high and inside for ball number 3. A hitter's count now with Smith ahead 3-1. And that'll be a walk issued to Smith, her second time getting on base. And now Tolmeyer will come up with a runner on and 1 out. Tolmeyer also had a hit her last at bat and before being stranded at first. The catcher, Hoke Berger, will come out to talk with Thomas at the mound. Thomas goes into her motion. This one hit into right field. That's going to get down. That's going to be enough to push the runner over to third, or at least attempt. Throw over to third, not in time. Throw back to second. But no one is going to be made, so Twelmeyer advances to second on the throw. Now runners in scoring position with just one out, and Sailor Laughlin coming to the plate. Big opportunity here for Lincoln. A hit would allow them to possibly retain or get the lead back after Dowling stole it from them in the last half inning. And there's going to be a meeting at the mound for Dowling. Talking strategy and just trying to figure out what you need to do here for Thomas. 1 out, 2 runners in scoring position, and a player who's already taken you deep once tonight coming to the plate. If you're just joining us, Dowling leading 3-2 here in the top of the 5th inning. Lincoln scored first with a home run in the top of the 1st. Dowling struck back with a run in the bottom of the 2nd, and Lincoln got another run in the top of the 4th inning as a walk ended up in a run on a ground out to short. But 2 runs came across the score in the last inning for Dowling, and they're actually going to issue an intentional walk to Laughlin, and that'll load the bases but give them an opportunity for an out at any base. Cox 1 for 2 on the day coming to the plate. She was also the starting pitcher in this game. So they might be bringing a courtesy runner for Laughlin potentially. There's a meeting at home plate between the Lincoln coaching staff and the crew chief for this first game. I'll have to hurry and get that pinch runner in. This is actually number 20, Heather Leake, who's been out catching for the potential new pitcher, Carney Johnson. So Leake will come in to pinch run for Laughlin. Bases loaded, 1 out so far in the inning. Cox last year a .264 hitter and now 1 for 2 on the day. 13 RBIs for that first pitch in the dirt for ball number 1. Thomas has to be extremely careful here, as even just issuing a walk would walk in the game-tying run. This one grounded foul for strike number 1. Breeze starting to pick up a little bit, and can I say, does it feel great out here in the sun? Thomas set and delivers on a 1-1 count. This one ripped into the outfield. That'll score at least 1. They'll hold the runner at third. So just 1 comes in to score, but that'll tie things up at 3 apiece. As Smith scores her first run of the game. Credit the RBI to the pitcher, Riley Cox. And things don't get any easier with Carly Brower coming to the plate, drew a walk and scored a run her last time through the order. And another pinch runner will come in as Cox heads into the dugout. And I believe it is once again Jade Anderson. So bases still loaded, only 1 out in the inning. Thomas sets and delivers infield in for a potential play at the plate. Karn still warming up in the dugout for Lincoln. This one hit over to third, fumbled for a second, though. They do not get the play at home. Do get the runner at third, however. So Twelmeyer will come in to score as well, and Leak will be the victim of a force out at third. So Lincoln takes a 4-3 lead as Bauer grounds into the fielder's choice. And Saunders will come to the plate with 2 gone in the inning. First pitch a little bit low for ball number 1. Thomas trying to work out of the jam with no more damage. This one pops straight up, and Rhinebeck will come in from second base to make the catch. So Lincoln able to plate a pair of runs and retake the lead 4-3 after the top of the 5th. Due up for Dowling in the bottom of the 5th. It'll be the top of the order in Lovon, Reinhardt, and Johnson. We'll see what they can do when we come back. You're listening to Lincoln and Dowling Softball on Central Iowa Sports Network.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Cox back in to pitch the bottom of the 5th inning. She's allowed 3 runs so far in this game, and helped out her cause immensely in the last inning, as she was able to bring a run home and pick up an RBI before being pinch ran for by Jade Anderson. And now she's got to try and keep that lead on the mound. May have a short leash in this inning, however, as we've seen Brooks and Johnson both warming up in the bullpen at different times. So we'll see what the top of the order has in store for her, as Yalitza Lovon will lead off for the Maroons. First pitch is too high for a ball. The top of the order, just 1 for 5 so far in this game. Second pitch catches that inside corner for strike number 1. Lovon 0 for 1 officially on the day, but did draw a walk and advance to second to begin this game. And now here in a big moment in the top of the 5th with her team down by 1 run. That one too tall, as that's ball number 2. Cox delivers this one. This one hit over to short. Good stop by Brower, and throw over to first in time to pick up the out. Second straight 6-3 ground out for Lovon in this contest. Abby Reinhardt will come to the plate. Cracked a 1-hop double to the wall her last time up. Missed a home run by a couple of feet, and we're looking to possibly showcase some more power here in this at-bat. And that's exactly what she's going to do, but I think she's got 2 underneath this one, and it'll be the center fielder, Peyton Saunders, settling underneath it in mid-range center field. That's 2 quick outs for Dowling. And Anna Johnson will come to the plate, 0 for 2 on the day with a ground out and a fly out. First pitch in there for strike number 1, right at the knees. Oh, 1 count. Cox delivers. This one inside for ball number 1. Cox has been very successful against the top of the order so far today, as most of the damage has come from the 4, 5, 6 hitters. Johnson will look to keep this inning alive with 2 outs on the board. Her team trailing 3-4. This one ripped into left field past the outstretched glove of Brower at at shortstop. And that'll bring Hochberger to the plate. Ground out her first time up, but drew a walk her last time through the order. Anna Johnson will get a courtesy runner here. It'll be Becca Youngers, number 24, coming in for the designated player. Her first appearance in this game. If Hochberger is able to reach, it'll bring up Emma Gipple, who's 2 for 2 with a pair of runs on the day. First pitch to Johnson, swung on and missed. To Hochberger. Johnson standing back in the dugout with Younger's pinch running for her. Another swing and a miss for Hochberger, and that runs the count 0-2 now. Big strikeout opportunity for Cox to get out of the 5th inning. That one's going to bounce in the dirt for ball number 1. Cox to home plate. This one's going to be grounded right over to second, but take a weird hop. But it's actually going to bounce off of Youngers, and the runner interference will lead to an out. So at the end of the 5th inning, Lincoln holding a slim 4-3 lead. We'll take a quick 30-second break and be right back here from Dowling High School.
In a recent spring storm, a freak tornado formed and moved through the north side of Shunkirk Chevy Waukee. Depending on damage, most new vehicles with minor cosmetic imperfections. Affected new Chevys will be sold for thousands below market value, with a limited number of storm-damaged vehicles available. Time is of the essence to take advantage of this opportunity. You get the rebates and discounts. Now take thousands more off storm-damaged vehicles. Limited time savings. Shunkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
It's been a great game of softball so far today. Lincoln holding a 4-3 lead after the 5th inning. 2 more innings of action at the very least here in the first game of doubleheader action. Lincoln took an early 1-0 lead in the top of the first. Dowling tied it up in the bottom of the second, but the top of the 4th, you saw Lincoln pick up another run, only for Dowling to pick up 2 in the bottom of the 4th. And Lincoln respond with 2 of their own to retake the lead 4-3. And after no runs scored in the bottom of the 4th, we are staring at a 4-3 lead for Lincoln heading into the top of the 6th. It's Carly Julius, Bella Loudon, and Kylie Jones due up for the Rail Splitters. First pitch into Julius is low for ball number 1. Hot one here tonight, but that shade's starting to come in a little bit on the infield. That one's in for a strike. We got a 1-1 count now. Thomas sets and delivers. This one swung on and missed by Julius. Picked up an RBI earlier with a ground out. Was enough to score a run. Julius struck out in her first at bat of the day. Thomas looking for a repeat, but that one is going to be grounded, and it's going to get past the diving Reinhardt at second base, and that'll give Julius her first hit of the evening. Bill Loudon coming to the plate. That one swung on and fouled back, so runner unable to advance. After settling into a little bit of a groove through the fourth inning, we've seen the last couple innings be a little bit of a struggle for Thomas. She gets a swing and a miss on that pitch, and now is an opportunity for a strikeout. But she's had trouble putting away hitters, able to get to a 2-strike count, but has not been able to finish off the at-bat. Has not picked up a strikeout since the final batter of the fourth inning. This one grounded over to the pitcher, and throw to second can't be handled. It is dropped by Sweezy at second. So both runners will be safe on the error. Two runners on, no one out here in the top of the sixth inning. Would have had an opportunity to double play if Sweezy had been able to bring that one in. That pitch high for ball number one. Thomas delivers to home plate. This one low. Good stop by the catcher, Hochberger, able to keep it in front of her. Runners unable to advance, but a 2-0 count. Thomas now at a 3-0 count as that one's outside. A walk here would load the bases with no one out, with her team already trailing by one. That'll be a strike, just able to sneak it in on the top right corner. Thomas allowed 4 runs so far in this game. This one hit foul as it hit right in front of home plate and then trickled foul. And that runs the count full. So Thomas an opportunity to possibly pick up a strikeout, which would be big right here. This one is going to be dropped into left field. No, that is right field, excuse me. And then the throw to second is a wild throw, so no outs recorded, and the bases will be loaded with no one out in the inning. And the worst part is, it'll be the top of the order due up. Zoe Smith, 1 for 2 on the day and has reached base twice. Meeting at the mound, we'll see if Thomas's day is done or if they're just going to come up with some strategy. There'll be a play at any base. As it stands right now, Julius at third, Loudon at second, and Jones at first with Smith, Twellmeyer, and Laughlin due up. Now out to the inning. Lincoln leading 4-3 here in the top of the 6th. Could really have a chance to really break this one open with a big inning and put Dowling in a tough spot with just 6 outs left. Smith at the plate, Thomas on the mound. First pitch, low and outside for ball number 1. Smith 1 for 2 on the day, walked and scored a run her last time up. Took a little bit off that one. Smith well out in front for strike number 1. Thomas delivers another one high for ball number 2. These runners are itching to go as they know anything hit in the outfield could spell big trouble for Dowling. It should be enough to plate potentially 2 runs. That one's high for ball 3. A walk would bring in another run and extend Lincoln's lead. Thomas delivers with a 3-1 count. Swung on and missed by Smith. Big pitch here for Thomas. Walk will extend the lead, but a strikeout would at least get an out on the board. Infield will look to come home with anything hit on the ground. It's fouled straight back, so we'll get set and do this all over again. Thomas sets and delivers, and this one also fouled back. 9th pitch of the at-bat due up. Smith really making her work here in a big opportunity. Haven't seen a lot of patience from either team's hitters so far in this game, but Smith showing it when she needs to right here. Thomas delivers again. And hit straight over to short, but it was knocked away by the glove of Thomas, it looked like. And everyone is safe. Another run comes in to score as Julius crosses home plate. And that would give Smith her 2nd hit of the day. And we still got bases loaded with no one out. And Twelmeyer due up. 2 for 3 on the day. This one's hit high into left field, but it's going to be Gipple settling underneath it. 1 run's going to come home, and that'll be enough to score that runner from 3rd. Runners will advance to 2nd and 3rd as well, but we do see Loudon come home to score. Smith stops at 2nd, and Jones now standing over at 3rd. At the very least, the first out of the inning recorded. But Dowling now facing a 6-3 deficit as Lincoln has really had some big outputs the last 2 innings. Now Shea Laughlin coming. She was 1 for 2 on the day with a home run. Was intentionally walked last time up. Rips this one, but it's going to go foul. Had a good swing on it just a little early. Two runs in already in the inning. As Julius and Loudon have both come in to score. Jones at third, Smith at second, Laughlin at the plate. That pitch a little bit outside, good placement, and we could see them go back there for a potential strikeout pitch later in the at-bat. Taylor delivers the home plate and took one off that and had Laughlin way out in front. Thomas was rolling through 4 innings, having allowed only 2 runs, but has allowed 4 here in the last 1 1/3. This one's going to be blooped over to second, and Reinhardt will be able to make the catch. So that's 2 outs in the inning. Riley Cox will come to the plate. She's got a pair of hits so far in this game and an RBI. She's also been doing the pitching on the other side for the Rails. Two for 3 at the plate and has allowed 3 runs on the mound through 5 innings pitched. Looking for her first win of the season. It's helped out her cause a little bit, but a great opportunity to put some more distance between Lincoln and Dowling right here. First pitch in there for strike number 1. Thomas will deliver the second pitch. This one bounces at home plate, and Huckmarker able to make a good play to keep it in front of her. Two gone in the inning, runners at second and third. Lincoln having already plated 2 runs in the inning. This one's going to be fouled out of play as she couldn't lay off the high pitch. If Thomas can get the strikeout, it would get her out of the inning with no more damage allowed. This one ripped over past the shortstop. That'll score 1, and they'll hold the runner at third. Third hit of the game for Cox and her second RBI. Jones comes in to score. Smith stops at third. Runners on the corners as another pinch runner comes in. Anderson will come in to replace Cox once again. That'll bring Carly Brower to the plate. 7-3 lead now our score for Lincoln. Checking on the runners, throw down to third, and Smith is able to get back there in time. Thomas really needs to get the out here if your team has any hope of coming back potentially. This one's going to be hit straight up. Thomas coming in, and she's going to drop it, but it was in foul territory. So the runners will go back to their starting spots. No, excuse me, they will call that a fair ball. As Brower standing over at first. So chart another run. 8-3 now our score. As the error by Thomas keeps the inning going. And Peyton Saunders will come to the plate. On deck, Carly Julia is the person that got this whole thing started. This one hit into left field. Gipple settles underneath it, and that'll finally do it for the inning, but not before a big offensive output for the Rails. They plate 4 runs and take an 8-3 lead into the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll take a short break and be right back here on CISN.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
5-run deficit for Dowling coming into the bottom of the 6th inning and only 6 outs to work with. Cox on the mound, back for her 6th inning of work. And she's pitched brilliantly today, only allowing 3 runs for the first 5 innings. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 hitters to get things started. And if you want to make a comeback, Emma Gipple is the girl you want to get things started. 2 for 2 on the day with a pair of runs as well. She's been their best hitter all season. Also, one of their top returning hitters from last year as well. And then Annie Thomas might be able to get some frustration out as she's due up second in this inning behind Gipple. So Gipple with a pair of hits off Cox so far today. We're looking to add to her total in this at-bat. First pitch is hit down the third base line, and it'll be fair. And she's going to try and take a second base, and she is going to be out as the throw is in time. The hesitation coming around first, not enough. So she does pick up another hit, but is out at second. So might as well have gone just for an out. Sometimes getting greedy for the extra bases doesn't work out in your favor, and it did not there. As Thomas now comes to the plate with no one on base and 1 out in the inning. Thomas will sky this one up. Giving chase is the left fielder, and diving and making the catch. Great play out there in left field by the Lincoln Rail Splitters. That's number 17, Grace Twellmeyer, making the catch. So 2 pitches, 2 outs, and that'll bring Kaylee Sweezy to the plate. First pitch in there for strike number 1. This one fouled out of play for strike number 2, and quick 0-2 count against Sweezy as the first 2 outs of the inning came on 2 pitches. Cox looking to pick up a quick 1-2-3 inning. Sweezy the only strikeout victim so far of the game. And now Cox trying to make it 2 on her record. That one outside for ball number 1. That one high for ball number 2. Sweezy not the tallest player, so a smaller strike zone. And she's trying to work that in her favor. This one hit right back to the pitcher. Cox fields it, throws to first, and that'll do it for the bottom of the 6th inning. Last cuts for each team coming up after the break. 8-3 lead for Lincoln as we head into the top of the 7th inning. You're listening to Lincoln and Dowling softball on Central Iowa Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
7, 8, 9 hitters, Julius, Loudon, and Jones due up for Lincoln in this inning. And we got a pitching change as, waiting to see if the group breaks. Nope, it appears it actually will be Annie Thomas back out for the potential 7th and final inning of this first contest. Her team trailing 8-3. And it was a 7, 8, 9 hitters that got things started in the last inning that saw Lincoln plate 4 runs. First pitch in the dirt for ball number 1. Thomas sets and delivers. This one ripped into left field and a one-hop over to Gipple. And Julius picks up a hit to start the inning just like she did in the top of the 6th. Loudon will come to the plate, reached on an error her last time up. It was a drop by Brower at the second base. If she'd been able to field it, could have been a potential double play. This one hit into left field as well, back-to-back hits. And Lincoln already in business here in the top of the 6th inning. 7th inning, excuse me. I think I said 6 because it seems eerily familiar to what we saw last inning. Jones to the plate, also had a hit her last time up. On deck is Smith, Twelmeyer in the hole. Able to check her swing, and that pitch is inside for ball number 1. Oh, they will say she swung, actually. And that'll go as a strike on the check down to the other umpire. So now 0-1 the count. This one's going to be roped into left field. They're going to hold the runner, but 3 straight hits to start this inning. And now the top of the order due up for their 5th time through the order. How about the bottom of this order? As in the last 2 innings, they've combined for 5 hits and 2 runs. Pitch outside. Good play by Hoke Berger to keep it in front of her. Infield playing in on the corners. Smith 2 for 3 on the day with a pair of runs scored. And that one will hit the backstop. No runner advances. Julius not the fastest runner over at third. So now 2-0 count. And that one's going to get away from the catcher as well, making the count 3-0. No runners advance, however. Didn't get away by much. Walk here would bring in yet another run. That pitch right down the middle for strike number 1. Smith smart to take the entire way. This one's going to be hit high and deep into left field. Gipple able to make the catch. They're going to keep that runner over at third. Gipple a good arm. So the Maroons finally able to get the first out of the 7th inning. That'll bring up Twelmeyer with Laughlin on deck and Riley Cox in the hole. This one's going to be drilled into left field. One hops to Gipple. They'll score one, and they'll bring the second run home as well, extending the lead 10-3. As Tallmeyer picks up her second and third RBIs of the day, her third hit as well. Jones stops at second, and Laughlin will come to the plate. 1 for 3 on the day with a home run. It's been a great offensive showing so far for Lincoln, especially for a team that scored 2 runs in their first 3 games. First pitch bounces at the plate. Runners looked like they were going to take off, but thought better of it and would retreat back to their bases. Still only 1 out in the inning. 2 runs have come around to score. That pitch just outside for ball number 2. Don't forget, we've got another game coming up after this one, part of doubleheader action on Central Iowa Sports Network. Took some off that pitch and was able to guide it right down the middle for strike number 1. Laughlin able to get the bat on this one, rolls it over to third base, and able to make the out there is Hemery, and she'll step on third to pick up the out. Riley Cox will come back to the plate. She's had a great game so far. 3 runs allowed in 6 innings on the mound, and 3 for 4 at the plate with a pair of RBIs. Twellmeyer at second and Laughlin at first. Cox gets the bat on again, picks up her 4th hit of the game. They'll send Twellmeyer home, and it's cut off by Loven. Cox, 3 RBIs on the day now, 4 for 5. Have yourself a day, young lady. Courtesy runner coming in for Cox. So, Anderson coming back in. Feel almost bad for Anderson. She's had to come in now the 4th time in the game for Cox, and she's been stranded every single time in scoring position. First pitch in there to the number 5 hitter, Brower. Ball number 1. Brower hits this over to short. And another error on the throw over by Brower is going to bring in another run. So the error keeps the inning alive. Brower will end up over at second as Anderson advances to third. And correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that makes the score now 12-3. First pitch in there, ball number 1. This one hit foul for strike number 1. Saunders looking for her first hit, 0 for 4 on the day. Did reach base on a fielder's choice. The only batter in this lineup yet to reach by either hit or walk. as Lincoln has come out with a statement in this game. That one just on the outside corner for strike number 2. Thomas looking to finally get out of this inning. It was a great game for Dowling through the first 4 innings, only allowing 2 runs, but they've allowed 10 here in the last 2 2/3, and that'll finally end it as Saunders goes down looking, but not before 4 more runs come in for Lincoln, making it now 12-3 heading into the final half inning. And it's going to have to be a big miracle run for Dowling to pick up a win here in the first half of doubleheader action. We'll take a 30-second break and be right back here from Dowling High School.
In a recent spring storm, a freak tornado formed and moved through the north side of Shunkirk Chevy Waukee. Depending on damage, most new vehicles with minor cosmetic imperfections. Affected new Chevys will be sold for thousands below market value, with a limited number of storm-damaged vehicles available. Time is of the essence to take advantage of this opportunity. You get the rebates and discounts. Now take thousands more off storm-damaged vehicles. Limited time savings. Shunkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
3 outs left for Dowling as we head into the bottom of the 7th inning. Team scored 32 runs in their first 2 games, but have been weirdly silenced here so far tonight by Riley Cox. Only 3 runs allowed as they trail 12-3 heading into the 7th and final inning. And it's been a great game for Cox at the plate as well. 4 for 5 on the day, 3 RBIs. And you couldn't ask for much more from your pitcher, having you an opportunity to win on the mound and then doing that damage at the plate. Funny stat, she has been responsible for as many runs as she's allowed so far in this game. And when you're doing that as a pitcher, you're going to put your team in an opportunity to win every single time. Especially since for most pitchers, that means they've been throwing a shutout. First pitch in there for strike number 1. It's Henry, Moist, and Loven due up, the 8-9-1 hitters. Cox second pitch. That one's high and outside for ball 1. The 1-1 count. That one a little bit low for ball 2. Shadow starting to creep into the outfield now, down in right field. This one's going to be popped up and hit the ground near the Dowling dugout for strike 2 on the foul ball. Two count here. Cox has an opportunity to look for a strikeout. The biggest thing of how well she's pitched, she's only picked up 1 strikeout in this game. This one's going to be hit over to third. Good play over there by the third baseman, number 3, Zoe Smith. And that'll do it for Henry in this at-bat. 2 outs left for the Maroons. Moist coming to the plate, has grounded out to short both times in this contest. First pitch high for ball 1. Second pitch also high, makes the count 2-0, hitter's count for Moist. This one fouled straight back. Came up swinging on the 2-0 count and makes it out 2-1. Cox looking to finish this game out. 1 out so far in the bottom of the 7th. That one high and outside makes it a 3-1 count. And that'll be a 5-pitch walk as Moist reaches base for the first time. Elitza Lovan will come back to the plate, her 4th trip. She walked in her first at-bat and has been a ground-out victim the last 2 times. First pitch on the outside corner for strike number 1. Reinhardt on deck, Johnson in the hole. This one's going to go down the first base line, and it'll go foul. Missed it by a couple of feet. Otherwise, that might have been an extra base hit for Lovan, but instead it'll be strike number 2. One out so far on the inning. Moist over at first, Lovan at the plate. And that's going to be the second strikeout of the day for Cox. And both times she's caught the batter looking, working the corner on that pitch. And now Reinhardt will come up, the last hope for Dowling in this first game. Reinhardt 1 for 3 on the day. She one-hopped a double to the wall in her second at bat. Throw down to first, not in time as Moist able to get back there. This one's drilled high and deep. And that's the second time one's going to go off the wall for Reinhardt. Moist will head home. And then Reinhardt will try to get to third on the throw, but have to try and get back. She slides in safely back to second base. Second double of the game for Abby Reinhardt. This time brings in a run as well. So a little bit of life still for the Maroons. They cut the lead 12-4. And now Anna Johnson comes to the plate, 0 for 2 on the day, but walked her last time up. Cox, the runner at second, 2 outs in the inning. First pitch a little bit inside for ball 1. Cox sets and delivers. This one fouled down the right side. So strike 1, and it'll even the count 1 apiece. Cox trying to get this final out and end the first half of doubleheader action. That pitch a little bit inside, 2-1 now the count. Cox sets and delivers. And this one fouled out of play as well for strike 2. Giving up 1 run in this inning on the Reinhardt double. That pitch inside makes the count full. The catcher, Hochberger, standing over in the on-deck circle. Gipple in the hole. This one's going to be popped up. Coming in from left field and can't make the catch is the left fielder, number 17, Twellmeyer. So that'll bring in another run as Reinhardt able to score on the single. Great effort from Twellmeyer, just came up a couple inches short. First hit of the game for Johnson, and now Hochberger will come up. 0 for 2 on the day with a walk. That pitch is high for ball one. Gipple standing on deck, 3 for 3 on the day. Picks up a strike on the next pitch. 12-5 our score in favor of the Maroons. In favor of the Rails. The Maroons trying to make some late inning magic here with 2 outs. They've played a 2 in the bottom of the 7th and have a runner over at first. This one's going to be hit out to right field, and it's going to be marked foul. Looked like it was just a foot foul. Otherwise, it would have been an extra base hit for Hochberger, and we may have seen Johnson be able to come around and score. This one fouled out of play as well. 2 strikes still in the count. Hochberger grounded into a fielder's choice. Her last time up, trying to pick up her first hit of the game to keep this one alive. That one bounces, and the throw down to first, not in time as Johnson gets back. Cox looking for the payoff pitch. This one grounded past the third baseman and shortstop. Keeps the game going. Third straight 2-out hit for the Maroons. And Gipple will come to the plate, 3 for 3 on the day with a pair of runs. Tried to extend her single into a double last time up and was thrown out at second. A courtesy runner will come in for Hochberger. It was Johnson running for her last time. And Johnson will be back out to run for the catcher. That ball bounces in the dirt. Johnson thought about taking off, but will retreat back to first. The Maroons refusing to let this one end just yet. So they got a long way to go, down 12-5. This one's going to be hit to the shortstop, though. Brower puts a squeeze on it, and that will end it. As Gipple gets out for the first time in this game, and it ends this one. Final score 12-5. First half of doubleheader action, as we'll have the next one coming up in about 20-30 minutes here on CISN. And got to give out a shout-out to Riley Cox wrapping this one up as she allowed 5 runs on 7 innings pitched, but was great up until the final inning. 4 for 5 at the plate with 2 RBIs as well. Just an all-around great game for her. She helps the Maroons pick up their the Rails pick up their first win of the season. Maroons dropped to 2-1, and the Rails are now 1-3, and we'll be back here shortly with the second half of doubleheader action.